Fab. So here we are on the third step, which is bring it inside and see it as energy. So what do I mean by that? What we want to do is we want to escape from the mind box. We want to escape from the analysis. Escape might be the wrong word. Try a new technique. Let's look at it that way, okay? We don't want to stay there because all it does is keep us on that hamster wheel of drama. So we want to actually start to experience it as energy. So what I realised one day, I was learning shiatsu, and I'll give you another personal story. Examples are the best, aren't they? I was learning shiatsu, and we did a breathing thing. And the breathing thing was, okay, so breathe, and there was this rapid breath. So I started doing this rapid breath, and all of a sudden I felt so panicked, and it was awful, and I just stopped. Then we shared, and then they said, oh, you know, how? So I shared, I felt really panicked, so I stopped. And he'd said, don't stop, but I didn't. And he said, so don't stop, you're okay, like, just keep going. So I thought, oh, okay, right, well, I'll trust that process then, and I'll just keep going. So I'm doing this rapid breath, rapid breath, rapid breath. Reached that same point of fear and contraction, and felt awful, kept breathing, and then suddenly, boom, this memory arose. And it was, I'd been in hospital, I'd come off the respirator, and I had a ventilation mask with oxygen on all the time. And they rolled me, they used to roll me to change the sheets and stuff. They rolled me over, the mask fell off, and I panicked, thought I was going to die because I couldn't breathe. To which the nurse was like, you're fine, you know, dear, just take a breath, and then put the thing back. And actually I was fine, I didn't die without the oxygen mask for a few moments. So what I realised in that moment was, wow, that experience, that fear had got trapped in my system. And that then, if any, there was a shortness of breath, I instantly pulled that story in, went into panic. Whereas actually I was fine. The reality was I was fine. So that was where I realised that, wow, you know, emotions are just energy. Emotions are just energy. So I know we know about energy now, don't we? Like Tai Chi and Qigong and things like that, and all those things are amazing. I love them, and you might want to do some of them. That's entirely up to you. But the emotions are just energy too. So again, I think we put this realness, this concreteness on things, and we make them more solid than they are. And of course, the more we do that, the more they contract and can't flow. So remember, this is all about getting out of your own way and returning into flow. So these are all flow, you see. Emotions are flow. And we are human beings having a human experience. That is what it is, right? And all of those things are part of that. So it's not about getting rid of anything, it's about coming into flow. It's about allowing all of our emotions, the whole spectrum. And there's this thing that there are primary emotions and secondary emotions. So primary emotions are actually a response to something. I don't know, someone dies and there's an outpouring of grief. That's a good example actually, because I can easily show you the secondary emotion with that. The secondary emotion then is the memory of said event. And again, I don't mean to be harsh here, because to lose someone that you love is a grieving process, I acknowledge that. But I hope you can see the difference between a response to something in the moment, in the now, versus a response to something being born out of the mind. And so when we come in and we start to go with the flow, you see, and we stop resisting, because that's what we're doing, we're resisting, and that's why things get stuck, then it means that there is this amazing flow, and that whatever you meet, you just flow with it. You're sad, you're sad. You're angry, you're angry. You're happy, you're happy. Just this flow, just this ever-ebbing, flowing, moving, dissolving, creating, shifting human experience. And that's us, right? But what we're trying to do is say, is this box, and this box, and this one. And we're separating this flow into parts. And it's not good for us. And actually the parts are okay to experience the different things. But the bit that's not good for us is where we go, right, these ones are okay and these ones are not. Because then we've gone into that thing right at the beginning, do you remember, where I don't want to look at that? And now I can't allow this either, because if I suppress one thing, I suppress all things. Makes sense, doesn't it? So, bring in the breath. bringing the breath to everything, being prepared to flow with everything. Because in making that choice, you are deciding to come out of your resistance and enter the flow of life. And you will be far better for it, trust me. I will speak to you again very soon for the next one.